Previously on this, well, you already know what happened last time.
However, things were far from over.
Alright, pause. Alright, SpongeBob Patrick, you can come in now. Alright, thanks, Hammy. Yeah, thanks, even though your interjection was kind of small. They don't mention it. Alright, see you later. Dude, I think he should really start taking Allegra. Yeah, he should. I heard that. Sorry. No worries.
They found that the trouble they believed they escaped was in fact waiting for them at their front door. Jeff and Lou saw the police cars well before they arrived at their driveway. Two cop cars
Uh-oh.
both
Yeah,
parked in front of their
uh-oh.
houses. Two cop cars both parked in front of their house. Both of them felt their stomach drop, as they well knew why the police were there. The brothers
What
entered
else
the
would they
living
be
room
there
to see their
for?
parents sitting on the couch. The two cops standing up, leaning on the wall, writing in their notebooks. "What did you two do?" Sheila practically screeched at the two boys entering the house. Lou, younger and less
They
centered than Jeff, began to fall in the defensive. "Some kids tried to jump us down by the video store. They were messing with our bikes, and when we went outside, they got in our faces." "Yeah, well, that's not what we heard," Matt Woods interjected,
Well, it
his
is
voice
what
firm and ripe
happened.
with anger
Yeah.
and dissatisfaction. "No, Dad, that is what happened," Jeff began to explain. "We were down at Friendly Video, looking around the store, when these three kids started riding around on our bikes. All we did was walk outside, and the kids started talking trash to us, trying to provoke a fight. We tried to leave. One of them punched Lou." Finally, one of the cops spoke. His name tag read, Williamson.
Williamson?
"Boys, we
What
have some
name is
serious
that? I
complaints
have
about
no
the two of
idea.
you. From what eyewitnesses at the shopping center say, you two started the confrontation with Randy and his friends."
Wow.
Jeff took notice at how familiar the cop's tone was when he said Randy's name. This was a small town after all, and there was a good chance that this cop coached Randy in Little League, or drank beers with his dad. Hell, it was even possible the cop could be an uncle to one of the bullies.
Probably.
"No, sir," Jeff replied. "We didn't start it, they did. We just wanted our bikes. They just wanted to leave. They blocked us." Williamson continued, as though he'd heard nothing Jeff said. "Several witnesses, including the video store clerk, said that you swung first. They say that the boys were riding your bikes, but let me ask you this. Did you chain your bikes to anything, or did you just leave them outside the store?" "What's that matter?" Lou demanded. "Well, son, if you just left your bikes lying around on the street, you can't exactly blame Randy and his friends for riding them, now can you? It'd be different if you secured them somehow, but you just left them there."
Okay, that is a good
"Mom, Dad,
point,
you're
but
not
they
buying
still
this
mess
crap,
with
are you?
them.
You know me and
Yeah.
Lou don't start fights. When have we ever?
Alright.
These three punks messed with us. If you can't tell these cops are taking their sides,
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
need to open your eyes." Jeff knew
Yeah,
he was
they
skating
do
on
have,
thin ice,
the
but
police
that
do have a
rage,
good
it
point, but
demanded some sort of
that's
satisfaction.
obvious, but
"Jeffrey, do
still.
not speak about
Yeah,
these
I
officers in that
know.
tone of voice, and do not speak to us that way either. Now, it's pretty obvious that you two aren't happy here, that you miss your old home, but starting fights in the streets isn't going to change anything." Jeffrey's mother snapped back. "Listen, boys, you're lucky none of the parents want to press charges. This should be reported as a simple scuffle between teenagers, but be advised, you're both on notice. This is a quiet town, not like New Orleans. We don't tolerate this sort of behavior over here. If you see Randy, Keith, or Troy, I highly suggest you tell them you're sorry. We'll be keeping an eye on both of you, so don't let this happen again.
I
You
believe.
don't want an arrest record, do you?" Jeff felt his anger bubble over. He could not hold his tongue. "Who is he to you, Officer Williamson? Is Randy your nephew? Is he a friend's son? Or maybe you just go over and screw his mom while you're on duty?"
Oh, snap!
"Both of you go to your rooms."
That is so. Oh my god. Round. It went a completely other level with the savagery.
Lou walked up the stairs. However, they refused to hang their
snap.
heads in shame or feel any regret. Neither of their parents spoke to them for the rest of the day.
I have no idea why I just.
Jeff and Lou stayed upstairs, venting their shared frustrations to each other. They'd been screwed over, even at their young age. They knew that. They took some solace in the fact that they, at least, hadn't been arrested or cited. But still, they saw what was really going on here. That cop was protecting Randy. Jeff whispered to his younger brother. "No shit," his brother replied.
Clearly.
"We have to watch ourselves. We have to take care of each other. You saw it down there. Even our parents don't stand up for us." "Yeah, what the hell was up with that?" Lou asked. "All they care about is fitting in here. They want to make sure that they blend in with the rest of the Stepford families. No more fighting. If we see Randy or his two fuckhead friends again, we just walk away, okay?" "But Jeff, you kicked the shit out of them. How do we walk away?" Lou asked. Because I can't kick the shit out of the cops, Lou. Can't kick the shit out of Mom and Dad. They won't get us. Fucking Randy and his pals are protecting them. You and me, we're not. So, if we see them, just avoid them, okay? Please. Lou nodded. Feel like a little bitch, though. I owe Keith for hitting me. Really don't. I paid him back for that. And paid his fat friend, too. I hope they just leave us alone now. Jeff sighed. Jeff and Lou didn't hear from their parents for the rest of that day. They remained in their rooms late into the night, and finally came down to eat after they were sure their folks had gone to bed. Lou said that he felt relieved about that, but Jeff had a sinking feeling that the worst was yet to come. Jeff was correct. The next morning, the two brothers came downstairs together to eat breakfast. Their parents were already sitting at the dining room table, staring at the boys, approving of nothing they saw. Sit down, Matt said flatly. Sit down, Matt stated again, anger dancing on the words. The boys complied without further question. Matt Woods began his diatribe. Whatever that was yesterday, beating up some kids for touching your bikes, mouthing off at the police, disrespecting both me and your mother, that stops today. We didn't beat anyone up for touching our bikes, Jeff blurted. Shut up, Jeff. Shut up, Jeff. This is a one-way conversation.
Okay, telling your own kid to shut up, that is just messed up.
Did you know that? Did you even think about that? That you were assaulting him over your godforsaken bike? You just didn't think, did you, Jeff? Sheila added. How could I have known that? Matt continued. Well, I've spent the entire morning talking to his father on the phone. His dad's willing to let it all go, but shit, son. I have to deal with that at work now. Do you have any idea how much damage this could have done to me, to our family? Jeff
Well, do you have any idea how much you're turning against your own kids?
Yeah. Instead, he once more tried to appeal to the adult's parental side. Mom, look at Lou's face. They split his lip. Can't you see? It's still swollen. Lou turned his head to better showcase the injury. My God, Jeff, so some kid played a little rough with your brother. Is that any reason to fight them? I wanted to make friends with some of the other families in the neighborhood, but thanks to you, I just don't know. No sooner could Jeff or his brother construct a proper defense than their father began speaking again. So your mother and I have talked this through. Since there's only a couple of weeks of summer vacation left, we've decided that Lou should spend the rest of the season at Aunt Marcy's place. You've already spoke to her, and she's willing to let him come out there and stay. But Lou and Jeff were floored by this decision. Both boys began to protest at the same time, but they saw the look on their parents' faces. The decision was made. Why can't we both go then? A last-ditch effort, at least, to get away from his parents. Marcy doesn't want both of you there. She says you two are too rambunctious. And frankly, we agree, Sheila answered.
Wow.
So it was.
Just wow.
Lou was shuffled off to his aunt's place in Alberta Springs, Louisiana, a place even smaller and duller than Mandeville. If only one could believe that. Jeff watched his brother leave, then walked back to his bedroom. He felt that rage, however, it began to feel almost pleasant to him.
That's
He
weird.
couldn't explain it. He was furious at this turn of events. His parents had turned their backs on their own child, however, through it all, these new feelings he was experiencing weren't all terrible. The anger, for example, he could almost taste it. It felt like thick, sweet syrup stirring around in him. Of course, he knew the extra ingredient that would complete the flavor.
Yeah, I don't know.
The satisfying joy he felt when he and Randy and his friends on the ropes the day prior that mixed
That's so weird.
anger to create some intoxicating product that Jeff almost craved now. He fell asleep, lying on his bed thinking about that syrup, that thick, viscous. It seemed to work its way into the very fabric of his soul. He wanted it, yet he knew that it was destructive.
Yep.
And that nothing good could come from sampling it again. Several days passed, and the tensions were high between Jeff and his parents. Without Lou around, there was nothing for him to do except sit in his room and play video games. He went outside, but didn't venture far from home. He knew if Randy and his goons showed up again, it would likely result in another fight. For a few days, that worked well, and Jeff believed that he can get through this. However, his mother changed all of that on an early Saturday morning. Jeff was awoken suddenly by sharp sunlight striking his face. He heard his mother humming, something that she rarely did. Even in his half-sleeping state, he knew that humming was forced. She was doing it to wake him up, and figured the added sunlight would be getting things there even faster. When she noticed Jeff's eyes cracking open, she sauntered over to his bed and began speaking in a tone that simply oozed false joviality. At first, Jeff had refused. Could his mother be serious? Did she really expect him to go over and make friends with Randy? He was still in bed when his mother stopped her incessant humming long enough to tell him to get up and get dressed. Once he learned why, he told her no. No way in hell. However, his mother was a shrewd manipulator, and she'd know exactly what would get the job done. She promised Jeff that if he did this for her, went over and made it work with Randy, that Lou could come home the next day.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Jeff right into the corner with that one.
To be honest, I couldn't think she's just saying that. Just
a short time later,
Jeff
and his mother were pulling into Randy's driveway. Randy's mother answered the door.
Yeah,
"Hi, you must be Jeff," she greeted. Jeff smiled warmly and confirmed that was in fact who he was. Hello, I'm Sheila Woods. Nice to meet you finally in person," Jeff's mother announced, barging past her son and extending her hand to Randy's mother. "Sheila, so pleased to meet you. I'm Bridget Hayden. Sorry to hear that our boys had a little mishap the other day. You know how it is, though, with teenagers, hormones going crazy and all. Randy never gets into fights, but he explained to me that Jeff and his brother are still new to the area and haven't quite learned how we do things in Mandeville yet. Is that right, Jeff?" Jeff couldn't resist a small jab. "Yeah, sorry about that, Miss Hayden. Me and Lou had no idea that was okay for your son and your friends to mess with our bikes without asking." "Bridget, he gets that mouth from his father. Never knows when to shut up."
Wow.
"How about you and I go and have some coffee and you tell me all the great gossip around Mandeville while our boys get to know each other the right way?" "Randy's in his room, Jeff, upstairs, second door to your left. I'm sure you'll hear the sound of his video games or something," Bridget stated with very little humor in her voice. "Thank you, ma'am," Jeff answered, and entered the house. Jeff knocked and heard Randy answer with, "Come in." "Hey, so, I guess you heard our parents want us to hang out. Get to know each other," Jeff stated with little conviction. "Yeah, it's my mom, all right. She doesn't like drama. Honestly, I think she worries too much. I mean, I'm cool if you're cool." Jeff sat down on the floor next to Randy, struck up a conversation. "So, turns out your dad is my dad's boss. He freaked out about the fight in the parking lot. He was actually worried that he'd get fired or something." "My dad's like everyone's boss. I fucking hate it. I think half the kids in my school talk to me because their parents are somehow connected to my dad's firm." "Why do you hate it?" Jeff asked. "Because it's fake. The whole damn town is fake. You'll figure it out as you go. Trust me. Everyone who lives here is just trying to pretend that there's something else. My parents make me do all this shit, all the trophies and stuff, so they can brag. That's it." Jeff smiled. "I know how you feel. My dad had me in boxing class a year ago because some coworker of his had a brother that worked at the place or something, and as soon as that guy quit, though, I was out of that gym the next week. I wish it was that easy." Randy responded,
"Yeah, I know.
"I hate playing basketball. My
I'm
dad
sorry we're not really talking that much.
sure have me out there again next summer and the summer afterwards. It's like he knows I hate it. But make sure I'm out here with his stupid company name."
That savagery part, oh my goodness.
"Randy,
I know,
why did you
right?
and your friends fuck with our bikes the other day? I told you, this town's fake. And boring as shit. There's nothing to do here. We had to find stuff to do. I mean, there are only so many times you can go hang out at the video store, ride the dirt paths in the woods, and the girls here stuck up. All stores close early. There's no mall. The movie theaters across town. We're just bored, man. So, sorry for that, I guess."
"Yeah.
It's cool," Jeff replied. "I guess I'm sorry, too. Things went a bit far." "Hey, you mean that fight?" Randy asked. "That shit was actually cool. Those guys, Keith and Troy, they just leech on because of my dad, like I told you. I'm pretty sure their parents made them hang out with me." The afternoon went on. Jeff soon forgot that this was a mandatory arrangement. He actually started to find himself liking Randy. I mean, sure, their first encounter was a little sketchy, but he was coming around to the guy, finding that he wasn't so bad once his idiot friends were removed from the equation. About an hour later, things took a new turn.
Alright, we're gonna keep it at a cliffhanger yet again. Sorry, everyone. That's just how it goes. Anyway, yeah, I think we're gonna upload part 3 later today, right? Or tomorrow. A little either later today or tomorrow, before or after the episode of High Fivers. Yep. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. See ya.